Welcome back. This next lesson is going to be focused on the back of your neck. If you have stiffness, a super straight, erect neck, or if you have a forward curve in your neck, this one's going to be great for you. And here's a tip for people who frequently have headaches. They are usually due to too much tension around the C1, C2 axis. Here on the skeleton, it's these two vertebrae at the very top, just below where the skull is. What you need is a towel. You could use a towel a little bit bigger than this. See, I rolled up a hand towel just because this is the size that we have. But if you have a pretty significant inward curve of your neck, you might want to go just a little bit thicker on the towel. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate this lesson on my client here. So go ahead and first turn around and let's just look at the back of your neck. So looking here, and she did have some fusions. What level did you have the fusions in your neck?
Anterior is C3 to C7, C3 down to T3.
Okay, so you're a good one for this lesson because go ahead and stay around. So we're going to just look at the straightness here, and I could also feel and palpate that it's working pretty hard. These muscles are working pretty hard. So this lesson is going to help to soften this area and help these muscles that are working too much to let go. Okay, so start off on the edge of the table. Go ahead and sit down. And let's check your neck range of motion. Yeah, you could take off your shoes. Turn your head once to the right, back to the center, and once to the left. Okay, come to the center. Now, bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Come back to the center and left ear to your left shoulder. That's right. You don't need to push it. Just go to the point of comfort. Okay. So now what you're going to do is we'll see if this is thick enough for you. So you're going to lie on your back and I want you to put it at the very upper cervicals. So feel where the base of your skull is and you want to put it right at that point right below your skull. So go ahead and lie down, head at the very top, knees are bent. Great, and take a moment to get set up properly. Yeah, so right now I'm going to kind of bring it all the way up so you can feel that pressure right under your skull. Your knees and feet are about hips width apart. Okay, now very gently push your feet into the table just enough to roll up your tailbone. So your sit bone rolls up, and as you do this, your back flattens. You could shut your eyes, and we're going to do small rhythmic pelvic tilts. Rolling up as your back flattens, releasing, and your back slightly arches. Keep going. Now, by the way, this is about the right height for you, but as I mentioned at the beginning, if your inward curve of your neck is a little higher, you could go a little thicker on the towel. So keep going. We're going to do about 15 of these and do it in a way that you're not efforting. Do it in a way that you could do it for a really long time without getting tired at all. So the amount of time she rolls up is equal to the amount of time that she releases. Her mouth and her jaw is soft. Allow your bottom jaw to softly part from the top. Allow your tongue to be soft in your mouth. One other thing I want to make mention of is if you do have headaches, most likely you're overusing your eyes. So be sure to soften your face, soften your eyes, and soften your neck as we do gentle mobilizations to this region, the C1, C2 axis. So she's gently rolling her pelvis backwards. And then as you exhale, release and your pelvis rolls this way. There's a slight arching of your back. Roll it up. Exhale, release, and roll it down. Okay, take a pause. Take a breath. Recheck your posture. Recheck the placement of your feet. That they're in a position where your big toe and your pinky toes are both in contact with the ground. Your knees are as wide as your sit bones or slightly wider. There's no holding of your breath. Okay, now what I want you to do is take that roll and just move it down one vertebra. So a tiny bit. Yeah, just a tiny, like one segment down lower. Perfect. Okay. And then go ahead and do the same thing, rolling up your tailbone. Exhale, release. It's common for when you roll up your pelvis to want to pull in on your core, on your abdomen, but that's a no-no. Equal and opposite movement. So to the degree and pressure that you roll up is equal and opposite to the degree and force that you release. Minimal effort. You could roll up a little higher with your pelvis. That is fine. And you could release it a little bit more so that your back arches a tiny bit more. That is fine. As long as it's smooth, coordinated, and non-effortful. So do 10 or 15 of these, taking a pause, taking a break at any time. And it's okay to put your hands where my client is putting her hands, because that sometimes provides feedback as to if you're over-contracting, overworking your inner thighs. Because if you are using the wrong muscles. Okay, take a pause, take a breath. And now move that towel a little bit lower. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Great. So I'm going to just adjust it here. So it's right at the level of, we'll call that C7T1. And go ahead and do the same motion, the same pelvic tilting motion. Pushing through your feet, rolling up your sit bone, back flattens. Now, as you continue to do this, you may be aware of your spine gently being pushed in the upward direction towards my hand. Allow your feet and your hips to be doing the movement. So you're gently rolling your spine up, and your spine moves in a very subtle direction in the upward direction. So you push through your feet, you roll up your tailbone, and your spine just naturally moves in the upward direction towards my hand. And then as you release, your spine is pulled in the downward direction towards your feet. Use your intention to do this movement as opposed to effort. What we're doing is we're mobilizing our cervical spine. Now, I've been working with my client here for quite some time, so that's why she's got such good form. But if you're doing it at home and you feel like any jerky or forceful movement, you want to iron that out, smooth it out. Do it 1 or 2 more times. And then release completely. Go ahead and take the towel roll away and take a rest. Now, some people could rest with their legs long, but if you have back pain, you may want to just stay with your knees bent, whatever is comfortable for you. In the middle. Now, let me ask you, do you want it a little bit thicker, or do you feel like that's thick enough? Okay, so I have another towel here. I will wrap it around. And then the tail, you could just leave it at the top. Make sure you don't work your neck. My client here will show you how to do this. Great. Okay, great. So now that it's thicker, it fills up more of that section of the inward curve. And it's okay for you to rest your head on the tail of the towel. Bend your knees. Now, ever so slightly turn your head and nose to the right, just a little bit. Okay, good. Now, go ahead and perform the same pelvic tilt motion, but it's going to be more of a diagonal trajectory to the right side of your face. Jaw is soft. Eyes are closed and soft and relaxed. Do it 1 more time. And then just take a brief pause because I'm going to give you another alternative. The other alternative is to straighten your right leg. Go ahead and straighten your right leg. Okay. And go ahead and do the same motion. A few more of the one-legged pelvic tilts. So when you're doing this motion, you're really thinking about off-weighting your left side of your hips. And you'll feel a diagonal line being drawn across the table towards the area between your right shoulder and neck. Your knee stays pointed towards the ceiling. Do it one more time and take a rest. Now, if you want, you could check if this made a difference, either with removing the towel or keeping it there. Roll your head one time to each side and feel if it's a little easier to roll it to the right. So now we're going to do the other side. So you have the option to start with both knees bent. Turn your nose and your eyes a little bit to the left in a place that's comfortable. Like I could see you're not that comfortable there. So I would find a position that feels like, okay, there you could stay for a bit of time and it won't get uncomfortable. So go ahead and do the pelvic tilts. Do about 5 of them, and then we're going to do 5 more with your left leg straight. And at any time, if it does feel easier to turn your nose and your head a little bit more to the left. In the next lesson, we're going to focus just on the side of your neck. So after you complete this lesson, you are welcome to do that one next. So you want to make sure with your pelvis, it's a roll as opposed to a lift. So roll means one segment comes up and then the next and then the next, and then it releases one at a time. Rolls up one at a time, one vertebra at a time, and then it releases one vertebra at a time. Pause for a second. I'm going to add one more step. So think through it first. You're going to push through your right foot, off-weight the right side of the pelvis, roll it to the left. And then as you roll your pelvis, allow your head to roll with it. So go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's do that 3 times. 1. So you're feeling the direct line, the direct trajectory of the line from your foot through your knee, through your pelvis, across your back to the left neck and shoulder. Okay, take a rest. Now you could either stop here, or if you want to go one more step, go ahead and bend both knees. And we're going to alternate. Yeah, that's right. Push through your right foot, roll your head to the left. Push through your left foot, roll your head to the right. And do one more and then take a rest. We're going to end here, but the important thing is the way you come up, because most people with neck pain come up from a table or bed over contracting their head and neck. So my client here is going to first remove the towel, show us how you remove the towel without lifting your head. And then she's going to demonstrate how to get up without working any of her neck or head muscles. See, she uses her arms and her hips as a fulcrum, and her head is carried upwards. Now, when you come up, you might be just a little bit lightheaded. So take a second, take a moment to come back into your body, and then retest the movements that we did at the beginning. See if it's a little bit easier to move your head. Great.
So much better. Moving to this direction was with pain. There's no pain right now. I almost feel like there's a little more mobility in a neck that is not mobile.
Amazing.